More and more people are taking a step back from work, trying to find more balance. Money expert Robyn Thompson breaks down now the financial implications of opting out. In a lot of cases, we're seeing women doing this. We've seen Jacinda Ardern step back as New Zealand's Prime Minister, and Marie Kondo, the organizational guru, stepping back.
Yeah, so when you're thinking about stepping back, it's that step back to sort of step forward culture or step back to opt in. And right now what we're really seeing is people starting to look at, what is the purpose of their life? What is the agency that they want to take with the decisions that they're making in their lives? So whether it be Sheryl Sandberg, who stepped down as the COO of Meta, you've got, again, as you said, Jacinda, Marie Kondo, it's about looking at their lives and saying, there's something brighter on the horizon. And although they've worked their entire careers or their entire lives for their careers, they're making different steps in order to recalibrate what it is they want to do for themselves and how they want to show up in the world.
And the pandemic has had a lot to do with this. It forced a lot of people to say, am I really happy with what I'm doing right now with all the busyness?
And that's, I think for all of us, myself included, it puts that microscope and says, how am I showing up? What does my life look like? And is busyness actually success, or success about having a different level of control around the decisions that you're making in your life? Our lives have changed. Our work lives have changed. Our social lives have changed. How we show up to work and the kind of work that we do now can be very different from what it was 3 years ago. So it's about understanding, how do you want to work? What kind of money do you want to make? And is there another platform or opportunity for you out there where you can make similar income, if not more, but put you in a place where you feel like, God, I love this? Because after a while, some people just get into that routine where they just feel like, gosh, this just isn't working for me anymore.
And you don't want to reach a point where you're burning out and then having to step back kind of thing. You talk about it as being a recalibration.
Yes. And I think that's the key point. It's about understanding that if you are in a position where you're continually frustrated with work, you're unhappy with your role, eventually something's going to snap. So there's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, or there's or a death or a sickness, or you're being forced out of your position. So if you are in a place where you're unhappy with your career and your work life, start to look at, how do I put some strategies around my life now financially so I can step back and do something different. So look at how much savings you need to have, what kind of pension plans you need to be sort of living off of if you want to make that sort of middle ground. And maybe you want to step back and raise your children. Maybe you want to step back and have an entire new career. So there's some planning that has to go into this. It's not meant to be, let's blow up our lives.
You talked about during the break, you talked about, you have to think about things like your benefits as well. Like if you step back, are you going to be covered for drugs and medications?
And you have to look at that, in a whole picture. So understanding, if you're working for a company, you have a defined benefit pension plan and you receive stock options, you have all of those benefits built into your employment. It's very different than someone who's working freelance somewhere or who's working part-time that's not really seeing the benefit of those packages. So before you leave, it's understanding, what am I giving up for the future? What does my current life look like? And what are the different opportunities? And doesn't have to be all or nothing. Perhaps you're leaving a full-time job, working 2 part-time jobs, because those jobs give you fulfillment and they drive you closer to whether it be, more purpose in your life or more financial gain. But it is a balance between the both.
And it's all about planning, because I mean, we've talked about 2 very high-profile examples, very wealthy women. Not every woman can do that.
No. And it is about looking at understanding, what do I need to do this? So you typically want to have between 3 and 6 months of emergency savings, or savings to be able to keep your lights on, pay your bills, make sure you are managing your life. So you have that time to be able to recalibrate. Or maybe perhaps there's 2 of you working, one of you wants to stop working and take care of the family. What's the division of labor within your household? And then lastly, perhaps you have investment accounts that you can shift from growth-orientated stocks to value and live off of some of the distributions and income off your portfolio for a while to get you through that period of time. So if you are in the world of average, which I think that the majority of the people are, it's just about looking and understanding, what do you have and how do you make the most of what you have.
Okay, that's where a financial planner comes in, and that's where Robyn comes in. We'll get all your socials up on our website, chch.com/Morning Live. Thanks so much for coming in.
It's always great to see you.